Hospital nurses in Ontario are preparing to take action as they grow more frustrated. They say Premier Doug Ford's promise of pandemic pay has not been fulfilled. Now, they can't strike, but they can work to rule. I'm now joined by Ontario registered nurse Laurie Holmes. Laurie, thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, the frustration we know exists. Talk to us about the situation for nurses in Ontario.
The situation is that in November of 2019, Doug Ford instituted Bill 124 that caps all public sector wages to 1% in order to try to get control of the budget, which sounds really great on the surface. But the problem is it's not being instituted across the board equally. There are exemptions for fire, there's exemptions for police, municipal workers, and nurses aren't exempted. So everybody else has gotten the pay raise, and the only one that seems to come down on is the nurses.
And now you guys are in the middle of this pandemic, working long hours, putting your lives on the line along with your coworkers and doctors that are in the hospital there. What is the concern? And I know that there was supposed to be the pay raise that was supposed to be brought to essential workers, and many nurses not receiving that either.
Right. Honestly, I think that was just a Band-Aid to try to cover up for the fact that he instituted the bill. And we are going in, we're looking after COVID patients right in the rooms. And just when we walk in, we're hoping that the seal is good, everything's good. We don't bring it home, end up making our families sick. Everybody knows that the public is financially strapped and that a lot of people are suffering, but we have a different kind because we have to walk into those rooms with high concentration of COVID and walk out and hope that we did everything right so we don't get sick and that we don't end up making our entire family sick. So it's like, it's financial stress versus your family's lives.
Right.
Everybody's having it. It's just, it's a different type of stress because of this.
And and this is a stress that existed before COVID-19 in terms of the financial stress. So this isn't something that's just come about now.
No.
What do you want the Ontario government to do? What is your ask of the Premier right now?
My ask is that he exempts us from the bill, just like he exempted police who can't strike. EMS can't strike. The doctors are exempted. And what I find really interesting is in October of 2019, before he instituted this bill, he gave his MPs a 14% raise. And then in November, he put the cap in and he didn't exempt himself. Well, he didn't have to because they just got their 14% raise.
Really quickly, Laurie, why is it that nurses are under the cap? Or are you not considered essential workers?
We are considered essential workers. We cannot strike. One thing I want to correct is we're not working to rule right now. Everybody that is out there protesting is doing it on their own off time. We're not adjusting anything. Everybody in the hospital is getting exactly the same care that they have gotten 3 weeks ago. We're not adjusting. We're not slowing down. We're not going to put patient safety at risk. I want to make that very clear. We're doing this on our off time because we feel like we don't have the support to actually do anything. We can't strike. We can't make a scene. Like if you look historically, when have you ever seen nurses do this in the last 10 years? It hasn't happened. And it's just, I guess we're just kind of at our breaking point considering the stressors and then having this not being put across the board equally.
Right.
If everybody was equal and everybody got hit with this 1%, you wouldn't see us out there because that's fair.
Right.
But it's completely inequitable. And it seems like it's the male-dominated professions that got the exemptions.
Your voice is a critical one, an important one to be heard. And of course, all the work that you and your team do and your colleagues do is also extremely critical. And, it's amazing what you do. Ontario registered nurse Laurie Holmes, you're welcome. Thank you so much for giving your time today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.